Hello everyone, my second topic is all about Presidential Decree number 603. Presidential Decree number 603, the Child and Youth Welfare Code. What is Presidential Decree number 603? The Council for the Welfare of Children was created through Presidential Decree 603, otherwise known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code in 1974. It is mandated to coordinate the implementation and enforcement of all laws, formulate, monitor, and evaluate policies, programs, and measures for children. It was approved on December 10, 1974. Then after 6 months, it took effect on June 10, 1975. Now let's move on to Title I, General Principles. Article 1, Declaration of Policy. The child is one of the most important assets of the nation. Every effort should be exerted to promote his welfare and enhance his opportunities for a useful and happy life. It means that the child is the most important assets of the nation because, as what Dr. Jose Rizal said, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. The children is the hope of the nation because the success of the nation lies in their hands. They will become the next leader of the nation, so it is their rights to receive enough protection and more opportunities that will enhance their talents and skills. Those opportunities serve as a practice for themselves, for them to be a better person and to live a meaningful life. Now, let's proceed to Article 2, Title and Scope of Code. The code shall be known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code. It shall apply to persons below 21 years of age, except those emancipated in accordance with law. Child or minor or youth, as used in this code, shall refer to such persons. It means that this code is only applicable for those children ages below 21, but those emancipated children are not included. When we say emancipated children, are those children who live on their own. They are not dependent to their parents, and they are the one who are responsible for their self, especially for the basic needs. So they are the one who make decision for himself. Now let's move on to Article 3, Rights of the Child. All children shall be entitled to the rights herein set forth without distinction as to legitimacy or illegitimacy, sex, social status, religion, political antecedents, and other factors. It means that all children have the right to be acknowledged and valued without looking for their differences they have, without looking for the internal and external factors that influence them as a person. When we say legitimate child, it means that the child was born inside a marriage, meaning ang bata gipanganak after magpakasal iyang biological parents. Then when we say illegitimate child, the child was born outside the marriage, meaning ang bata gipanganak nga wala pa gikasal ang iyang ginikanan. Reason, manang wa gikasal kay tungod ang usa sa iyang parents kasal sa lain, o kaya iyang parents or iyang biological parents wala pa nag-decide nga magpakasal. So nasa gitawag nga legitimated child. It means that the child was born and undergo the process of legitimation, meaning ang bata gipanganak nga wala pa gikasal ang iyang biological parents, but after months or years nagpakasal ang iyang biological parents, so matawag na siya nga legitimated child. Next, number 1, every child is endowed with the dignity and worth of a human being from the moment of his conception, as generally accepted in medical parlance, and has, therefore, the right to be born well. It means that every child has the right to be born and valued as a human being from the moment of his conception. So when we say conception, is the start of life. when the egg cell and sperm cell unites. The union of egg cell and sperm cell is called the process of fertilization. So the other term for conception is fertilization, the beginning of life. So meaning ang bata naa pa sa womb sa mother, mano siya ang conception, the start of life. Next is number 2. Every child has the right to a wholesome family life that will provide him with love, care, and understanding, guidance and counseling, moral and material security. The dependent or abandoned child shall be provided with the nearest substitute for a home. Meaning, every child has the right to have a family that will provide his needs and guide him in the right path, teaching him what is right and wrong. Then when we say dependent child, are those children who did not have parents or guardians. They are dependent upon the public support. Meaning, mao na sila ang bata nga walay mga ginikanan or guardian, tapos ang ilang mga basic needs nakadepende ngadto sa ilang mga silingan usa ngadto sa mga tao nga maayo na malumoy nga kasing-kasing nga gitabang sa ila paghatag sa ilang basic needs. Muna siya ang dependent child. Then when we say abandoned child, are those children who have not received proper care from their parents. So meaning, mao na sila ang mga bata nga giabandon na sa ilang ginikanan. Next, let's move on to Article 5, Commencement of Civil Personality. The civil personality of the child shall commence from the time of his conception, for all purposes favorable to him, subject to the requirements of Article 41 of the Civil Code. When we say civil personality, is when a person recognized as a person. Meaning, kung na-recognize na ka, na kay mga rights. Then, the civil personality of the child starts from the moment of his conception. Meaning, if you are in the womb of your mother, that's the start of civil personality. But you just a presumption as a person or commencement as a person. But you have the right na nga to be born and live. Na nakay right nga to be born and live. But once nga ipanganak na ka, you have the full civil personality. Meaning, na nakay mga karapatan bilang isang tao. Next is Article 6, Abortion. The abortion of a conceived child, whether such act be intentional or not, shall be governed by pertinent provisions of the revised penal code. Abortion is the expulsion of a fetus from a mother's womb. Then abortion has two kinds, the criminal abortion and therapeutic abortion. Criminal abortion has two classifications, the intentional and unintentional abortion. So when we say intentional from the word itself, intention, so gituyo nga ipalaglag ang bata from the mother's womb with the consent of the parents or the mother. While an intentional abortion, wala siya nga gituyo nga ipalaglag o ipa-abort ang baby. But because of the abuses or violence, nalaglag ang bata. That criminal abortion is punishable by law. Next is therapeutic abortion. This abortion is recommended and performed by a certified physician to a mother who have health risks and complications that might cause her to death, and this is not punishable by law. Next is Article 11, Promotion of Health. This is means that it is very important that a mother will get enough checkups for the baby or the child and herself in order to ensure that to ensure the normal development of the baby. It is very essential to undergo prenatal care because it will help the mother and the baby healthy during pregnancy. Also, undergoing postnatal will help the mother and the child away from any complication after giving birth. Now let's move on to Title 2, Child and Youth Welfare and the Home. Chapter 1, Parental Authority. When we say parental authority, is the totality of the rights of the parents over their children. It is over the person and the property of the child. Then Section A in general, Article 17, Joint Parental Authority. The father and mother shall exercise jointly just and reasonable parental authority and responsibility over their legitimate or adopted children. It means that the father and mother shall jointly exercise their parental authority and responsibility to their children, whether legitimate or adopted child. Then, in case of disagreement between the father and the mother, the father's decision shall prevail, but there is an exemption of this if the father fails to do his responsibility to his children. And then in case of separation of his parents, no child under 5 years of age shall be separated from his mother unless the court finds compelling reasons to do so. That's all, and thank you.